But also this Yachty and J. Cole interview was crazy. I got mentioned a few times. J. Cole actually didn't like anything. He didn't even direct anything to me. He would direct anything he would have to say to the media. I'm gonna be honest with you. This kind of made me like J. Cole a little bit more. Did anybody watch the J. Cole interview? He also, I gotta find the part where he's talking about Drake and like that first person shooter shit. And Yachty's kind of capping for Drake. He's like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know why people think that, like, yo, the boy, like, first of all, if you're gonna start off by saying the boy's so humble, like, he didn't have to, like, go neck to neck with you, pause, on that type of track. And J. Cole was agreeing, and then he was like, but Drake knew what it was. He basically said Drake knew what it was. We come from that era. He knew what it was. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find that part. Let me see if I can find it. I might have to go to the actual interview. Oh, by the way, I'm doing Yachty's podcast in a few days. All right, here we go. Somebody said Drake can't go head to head with Cole. Nigga, you tweaking, bro. You see, this is why I don't like when Drake lets some shit like that happen. Lil Yachty podcast. Here we go. By the way, if y'all have interest in topics, please spam it up. We're going to get to everything. You know what I mean? Oh, my God. They're hating on my ad blocker, bro. I need a timestamp for the first-person shooter conversation. There's a lot of conversations on here. You know, obviously, I want y'all to watch Yachty's podcast. He was talking about media, which, by the way, J. Cole, I don't even know if J. Cole knows. He probably knows who I am. I don't know if he watches my content. That was such a very fair and balanced, like, opinion about media and their role in hip-hop. You acknowledge that media, yes, could spin a skewed and unfair and sometimes biased narrative and sometimes could be toxic, but you then acknowledge, which a lot of artists forget, that the reason why, like, places and like organizations like the NBA are so big is because you have a media ecostructure like a ESPN. You have a 24-hour sports conversation going around for a game that's an hour a day or an hour and a half. That shit fuels excitement for that hour and a half. It builds it up where you don't get athletes getting paid $50 million in a season if you're not creating an atmosphere where there's so many more ancillary things to support that same thing. And he mentioned that with rap, and he's so right. So he was pretty fair. He acknowledged things that media could do fucked up, but he also acknowledged their importance. And I was like, damn, this nigga J. Cole, I'm like, this nigga might fuck around and make me like him. Actually, I don't hate him. It's just, I just got to remind him that he not Drake. You feel me? I'm going to put Cole here that y'all can see his face. And by the way, I was watching Cole's demeanor a lot. This is a really humble nigga, genuinely. And maybe I sometimes disrespect his humbleness because, put it like this, I don't know who this guy is. So no disrespect to this guy right here. I don't know who I guess he's Mitch. Mitch, okay. I'm not too sure his contribution to stuff. But J. Cole patiently sat there and listened to his opinion about certain things that if I was J. Cole, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Let me tell you what it is. He carefully thought about everything this nigga said, thought about it, and gave legit responses. I'm like, damn, J. Cole seems like a really good fucking human. Here we go. So crazy that he's sitting there watching Yachty and his friend have a conversation about where he's in the top three, and he's just like, he's taking in the convo. Like, dog, nigga, I would have cut that convo. I would have just butt in. The fuck? I don't need y'all niggas talking about I'm here. Hey, you know, Yachty is Drake's mans. They're like best friends right now. Yachty basically is almost like copping the plea for Drake by saying, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think he was trying to out-rap you. He was just trying to finish the song. and J. Cole, this is a moment I was waiting for J. Cole to say something because, like, everything he's gonna say is gonna define what type of nigga he is. J. Cole, you better not say, oh no, Drake is just a humble guy who, if he wanted to out-rap me, could have out-rapped me and embarrassed me. Or you gonna stand on it by saying, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I think he probably realized I was snapping, and yeah, you could make a better song by not competing, but don't act like what I just did niggas could really just compete with. Like, you gotta stand on yours. And this is his answer. This is basically saying, I understand you ride Drake dick, but here's the thing. He's giving a sanitized version. Basically, he said, Drake knew what the fuck was going on when I spit that fucking verse. This ain't no let's finish the song. I spit that verse that if the rapper in us, he's supposed to match that shit. That's what he's saying. It's like the Jodeci freestyle shit with him. You know what I mean? Like when Drake, I felt like Drake got the best of that exchange. But you ain't hear J. Cole like, oh damn, after I heard his shit, I just wanted to put a hook on it. Like, no, hell no, nigga. I'm gonna give you some bars back. Yo, I'm sorry with the ads. Hey, Monique, by the way, thank you for the yo, we got some beautiful chat queens in the comment section. Thank you for the donation. She says, have a convo with Queen Latifah, let her know what you be going through. She from Jersey. Yeah, I was gonna get on here and I hope me addressing her wasn't, I talk in a tone that sometimes people can find offensive, but I try to watch my words when I was speaking to her because I don't think she maybe even knows the full scope of me. I would love to have a conversation with Queen Latifah. You get what I mean? And sometimes I feel like the people who try to still act like I'm an outsider will care about the opinion when they are offended by the opinion, but they don't realize if you got to accept the fact that I'm a voice in this culture, but I'm not a voice that trying to disrespect people. Talk to me. It's fine. Like, I would love to know y'all, but if only time y'all gonna react to me is when y'all don't like something, I don't know. Isosa, thank you for the I'm gonna try to say your name right. Isosa Osayamwen. I might have got that. It says, blessings, man. It's like, yo, is Lil Baby shopping for the sauce in Saudi? Lil Baby's in Saudi Arabia? What the hell? Sean Christopher, thank you. He says, yo, as someone who grew up in a Jamaican household, I know what type of time Mama was on when she came in, when she heard that. Nah, yeah. You see my mama came in? Because the music bleeds through. Like, my mom was in the kitchen, my mama walked down, and mom was like, yo, Julia, you know they don't like that song. They don't like that song in America. That's exactly what she said. I said, Mom, chill. And she said, wait, are you live? And I'm like, yeah. She said, watch it. Stop. Yeah, of course, I'm a loving person. Everybody know I'm a loving person. Come on now. Kevin Williams, thank you for the 10. She's like, it's Friday, to hell with the haters. Yeah, bro, listen, we've been through far worse things. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Again, if anything, when I go through stuff like that, I'll be reading comments and I feel bad for y'all because y'all always be defending me and holding me down. And I always be thinking I hope I'm being a good representative to y'all. And I'm hoping I'm really being true to the person that y'all really want to support to deserve that. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie. I'll read y'all comments. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers hold me down, man. These my niggas. All right. Anyway. Zeph318, you said, is Joey Badass falling off or fell off? We'll talk about that in a little bit. By the way, I saw Joey Badass, I want to say about 8 months ago. Don't Joey Badass, wasn't he in Power and stuff like that? He's still rapping, but he's acting too. I think he's doing them dual route, acting and rapping, right? All right, cool. Let me keep playing this thing. Again, I'm sorry I kind of read donations in the middle of it, but J. Cole is kind of explaining what first person shooter really meant to him, and he's kind of just breaking it down to Yachty. Yeah, no, it is dope that Drake turned it. He picked the song over the competition. But don't think Drake is not from the era where the moment he gets my verse, he's thinking, I want to compete. And yeah, he might not have done it on that song, but I guarantee he's thinking, yo, nigga, I owe you one. And that's pretty much what he says. Here we go. Do y'all think that, though? Because, these days, we still have kind of maybe different terminology. Like back in the day, people would be like, yo, you got renegated, which means it's when Eminem was on the track with Z, which is Renegade, they said Eminem took the track. Lyrically, they felt like he just bodied the whole shit and even bodied the person he was on the track with. But these days, maybe it's not particularly lyricism, but people still care about who carried the track. We just say differently, yo, so-and-so carried, right? Instead of saying Renegade, whatever, for example, Future on Turn Your Click Up with Quavo, people yo, Future carried. People do still kind of care. Maybe it's not about lyricism per se, but it's definitely about it's definitely about the flow and really embodies the essence of the track, right? Am I tweaking? DC producer, thank you for that. He says, a lot of artists of today don't care about the art. More of the money, still some around, but there's not much as pushed. Okay, I'm seeing that. All right, bet.